Okay, as promised, here is video two on my series for e-commerce small business owners. So this video is going to focus on Facebook Business Manager metrics and the questions you should ask your agency or team. So let's get into it. Cool. So the first thing we're going to look at is my default table, kind of the first things I look at like once I log into Facebook. All right, so we're in Facebook Business Manager. Hopefully, you guys have the new version, which kind of looks like this. Um, and so this is the first thing I look at, right? Like I log in and then I have my default columns set up. So if you hover to the right, you can see the column tab here. Um, Facebook has a bunch of preset columns, but I like to choose ones that are most important to the business and give you a better idea of what's happening. So if you look at this, my default columns are the first thing I look at is purchases, the purchase ROAS or the return on ad spend, which is like the most important metric for most e-commerce businesses. Purchase conversion value, the actual revenue from the ads, the number of link clicks, cost per click, click-through rates, CPMs, which I'm going to get into on the next slide. But that's basically how Facebook charges you, right? Like the ads are based or charged on a cost per thousand basis. So if CPMs are going up, it means the auction is more competitive. There are more advertisers advertising, so your costs are going to go up. So it's always important to look at that. Frequency is an interesting one, which we'll get into. And then finally, some secondary KPIs, which are add to carts, cost per add to cart, content views, which is basically when someone clicks on the ad, lands on one of your product pages and actually views a product. And then finally, cost per content view. Um, okay, awesome. So, what do some of those metrics mean, and how can you actually get any insights from them? Since you, as the owner, are probably not going to have time to get into the weeds and look at each ad and ad set and get overwhelmed by all that information. So, in terms of just some warning signals that you can look at and you can talk to your team or agency about. I like to think about it this way, like are the signals coming from the Facebook platform itself? Is it creative related, or finally is it something to do with the website? So what do I mean by that? So the first question is, have Facebook costs gone up? And the way you can kind of gauge that, like I mentioned earlier, is look at CPMs. You can compare it week over week, month over month, and see kind of which way it's trending. For example, now during COVID, CPMs were down, I think 30-40% in some cases, just because so many people pull their ads, didn't have stock, things like that. And then inversely, like if you look at Black Friday or like Christmas time, everyone's advertising. So CPMs are super competitive and it's like way more expensive for you as an advertiser to actually get your product out there in front of people. So thinking about that, you can adjust like when you actually want to spend money depending on like your business goals, the seasonality of your business, things like that. Audience fatigue, is it kind of creative related? So what you will look at is then the frequency in Facebook, which kind of tells you how often people are seeing the ad, right? Because sometimes you're like, man, I'm seeing this ad over and over again. So if you look at the frequency tab in Facebook, that'll kind of give you an idea on a 7-day period, like on average, how many times is someone seeing the ad. Then you may be wondering, is it time for a creative refresh? So obviously, when the ads start to underperform, ROAS will go down, and you're just not going to get the same return that you did. But the goal is you kind of can see these warning signals before that, so then you don't have to do last minute changes. So just a good proxy metric is the click-through rate, right? Like if people are just clicking on your ad less, automatically it means that like the creative just isn't strong enough. Maybe they've seen it too many times. It's just not resonating anymore. The half-life of the ad is kind of reached its end. And then, oh yeah, so finally, if it's website related, which is interesting, it's a bit tricky to figure out, but one thing you can look at is just the cost per add to cart, because maybe people, they clicked on the ad, they landed on the website, they're adding to cart, but they're not checking out. So then obviously it's not an issue with the ad or with the Facebook platform itself, but something to do with your website, and maybe they're having an issue while checking out. That is it.